In this video, we're going to remodel our upstairs bathroom cabinets. They'll go from this to this, and we'll take you along and show you how we did it step by step. This was a learning experience, but we think it turned out pretty nicely. When we initially built our home, we were in somewhat of a rush to get things wrapped up so that we could relax just a bit from all of the construction. That meant that we didn't build everything the way we would have liked to from the start, but it also didn't mean that things had to remain that way forever.
Hi. What you doing? Want to help Mommy paint? You're going to end up paint all over her nose.
Sharon built our original cabinets in our upstairs bath using some green pine lumber we just had milled. So as it shrunk, gaps appeared throughout. So it was time to think about remodeling those cabinets and the rest of the trim in the bathroom. We have a lot of beautiful wild cherry lumber we had milled from some trees we cut down. After letting it dry for about a year, we decided this would be a good project to start using some of it on. The first steps would be to remove all of the existing cabinet facings, trim, and some of the underlying structure so that we could get to work replacing that with our new wood.
Of course, the last one's just downstairs to clean this up and turn this off. Hope it's off.
We cut our upper trim boards that our cabinet faces would rest against where the cabinet faces meet the loft wall in two sections, as we didn't have a single piece long enough to span that space. We used a standard miter cut to join them, so the joint wasn't as noticeable as a regular flush butt joint. We cut and dry fit our vertical pieces and then temporarily clamped them into place so that we could get accurate spacing and measurements for our horizontal trim pieces. All right, after installing some blocking back here, I'm going to reuse the original piece that we had up here at the top, which was our pine, as backing for our shelves. So I've screwed in some blocking back behind here to give us something to tie into. Now, let's do this. All right, get that. And much here. Column. All right.
Should fit. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. All you can do is try.
What I would do is, I guess, do up to here, and then do those, and then put them together in the middle.
All right, just going to be remarking some of these pieces. one. This. Again. This way. No. That place back here. Now we get routed. Val then assembled the face trim using her Kreg pocket screw kit, since the rear of the trim would not be visible, and between the screws and glue it would be very strong and not affected by the rapid and constant changes in heat and moisture in the bathroom. Ooh, I like that.
Very tight.
All right.
Yes. This has got to go on.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Excellent. One more down. Okay, and that's how we put together a frame. We assemble the face trim in two pieces to make it easier to work in the confined space.
Got a problem?
We do, yeah.
Hmm.
So,
How's the bottom?
top is off.
Yeah.
You know, we're fine as far as the height with that matching. So, is that your precise measurement? Is it? Down, Angel.
But Daddy, I love you.
Down. Now this is. Down.
Precise measurement. Yes. Well, this one I'm not gonna do. Oh, I guess I can. Okay. That's it.
Then we fasten the two halves of our face trim to the shelving and then together to form a single cabinet face. All right, starting to get the last trim pieces cut and fitted, and once they're done, then we'll get those polyed, sanded and polyed and installed, and we'll have all the facing of our cabinetry completed. The large openings at either end of the cabinets give us access to additional storage space behind the cabinets in the loft space located there. We wanted to be able to use that space to store larger items that we didn't use on a regular basis, and other items that were just too bulky to store elsewhere, like the vacuum cleaner. All right.
Okay. And when I paint it, the paint won't show. Uh-oh. Okay, this is really not as good, I suppose. Oh, this one isn't even attached. Oh, on one side, anyways. Makes you wonder. You know what I was gonna do. That's hilarious. I could push it this way. And then put a thing at the back. If I can. We'll see. Oh, look at that. I guess that's close enough. The last one's always better. You notice that? I did. Okay, what's this?
Val built 2 large doors for the openings on each end of our cabinets. Val built those once again by gluing and screwing the frame pieces together, then attaching a 1/4 inch birch plywood panel using glue and 3/4 inch brads to the back. Val used 4 standard pressure clips on each door that just snap into place rather than hinges, since clearance would be an issue for large doors like these. It worked out well. Rather than having the rest of the shelves open to view as we had previously, Val opted to build more doors for the upper shelving units so we could keep things hidden away that would just be clutter otherwise. Again, using her Kreg pocket screw jig, she fastened the frame together and then added the panels to the back of the frame using glue and brads. These panels are just small enough to fit inside of the cabinet opening, allowing the doors to close flush against the frame. She picked up some flush mount cabinet hinges so that her doors would close flush. We redid all of the baseboard and other trim using our cherry stock as well, and we think that it came out looking beautiful. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below, and please click that like button and subscribe to our channel if you enjoy content like this. We'll be coming out with a lot more of this on a regular basis, so be sure and hit that post notification bell too. And thanks for watching.